Enjoy a super production shot on more than 20 cameras.
Fresh from their midweek heartache in the Copa del Rey, Sevilla need to bounce back against an opponent with real need for the points as well as they travel to Elche down in the relegation zone, but with the motivation of knowing that a victory in this game would lift them out of the bottom three. So promises to be a very competitive game. Two teams who have an awful lot to play for. Sevilla are in between cup games, that defeat at Barcelona on Wednesday night, of course, and coming up on Tuesday night, they are back in the Champions League, the second leg of their tie against Borussia Dortmund, but they certainly cannot rest on their laurels in La Liga either. They have the target of a top four finish, which is by no means guaranteed for Sevilla, so they want to change back onto a positive track as soon as possible as they head out on to the turf on the East Coast at the Estadio Manuel Martínez Valero. It is a very much changed Sevilla team that we will be watching today. Julian Lopetegui with the physical and mental exertions that his players went through in midweek, and also knowing they have that Champions League game coming up on Tuesday, made a whole host of changes. We'll look at that in a moment, but first Elche, who line up with just one change from the side that suffered a narrow 2-1 defeat at Granada last weekend. That is at left back, where Johan Mojica is out and in comes Josema Sanchez. That shouldn't present too many problems to the shape of the team. Josema has played 16 games from the start already this season, so he will be able to slot into the back four. As we see the two captains, Gonzalo Verdu joined by the evergreen Jesus Navas, who is one of the few regular starters in the lineup for Sevilla today, as we take a quick look inside the VAR room, which is led by González Fuertes. The on-pitch official today is Valentin Pizarro Gomez. So here is this Sevilla lineup. Tomáš Vašlik stays in goal from the midweek game at Barcelona, but there are 9 changes from the side that started that game. The only other player along with Vašlik who stays in the starting lineup is Luke de Jong up front. So Elche next to bottom in La Liga Santander, taking on 4th placed Sevilla. Everything to play for between these two teams, and as I mentioned, 9 changes for Sevilla from the side that started at the Camp Nou on Wednesday night. So players playing for their places as well. There are plenty of recognisable names still in there, with Lucas Ocampos, Munir El Haddadi in the forward line, along with Luke de Jong, Ivan Rakitic in midfield with Papu Gomez. So it's still a very top quality squad and a top quality starting 11 as Sevilla look to get back on the positive track against an Elche side who are under a fairly new manager, Fran Escribá. His second spell in charge. Is just 4 games old now with this one. And they're feeling positive about the way things have gone since he returned. 3 games played, 1 win and 2 losses, but one of those losses was at Barcelona, where they put up a good show for the first half hour or so, and then last week at Granada, where they could have easily taken a point. So Elche feeling as confident as a team down next to bottom can do. Here is Luke de Jong controlling and being fouled as he looked to turn away. There's going to be a very early yellow card, which is bad news for Ivan Marcone, because he is a combative player, as he showed just there. Tackling is one of his great attributes. And now, of course, on a yellow, and well, seeing that replay, we can see why the yellow card was produced. A nasty one right on the ankle of de Jong with his studs. So he can't really have any complaints, but he does have to be careful now. Marcone have to play 89 minutes on a yellow. There is Fran Escribá, a man who recently returned to Elche after 5.5 years away. He was in charge of the club between 2012 and 2015. Back at the place that he regards home now to try and keep them up. Playing with 2 up front today, Elche. It's very much a 4-4-2 formation. Here's Tete Morente on the right wing, combining with Raul Guti coming forward from midfield. Not a bad cross, and there's maybe a little bit of confusion between Vashlik and Gudeli, who headed away when probably the keeper, Vashlik, was going to make an easy catch. It's Elche on the front foot early on here, as now Lucas Boyer sends in the cross too deep for fellow Argentine strike partner Guido Carrillo. Those two will provide a good threat to Julen Lopetegui's team today. Lopetegui, in his pre-game comments yesterday, very much trying to move on from the disappointment of the Barcelona exit on Wednesday night. And trying to look positively towards the future, and there is still an awful lot to play for Sevilla. And of course they had as well as the cup exit at Barcelona, they had a league defeat to Barcelona as well last weekend, which I think it's probably fair to say put an end to their realistic hopes of climbing into title contention. So they're just psychologically, as much as anything, got to be careful that those 2 losses to Barcelona in the space of 4 days don't derail their whole season, because they've still got an awful lot ahead of them. Still in the Champions League and still looking to make sure they finish in the top 4 in La Liga. And here is a pass through from Papu Gomez looking